Welcome back to the channel. Today we're starting a new project. So this is part one of building a wooden duck sneak box. Some call it a sneak boat, but still the same way. You're getting down into the boat and it's going to be used to sneak up on ducks in the marsh. It's kind of like a wooden, bigger version of a kayak, kind of like a layout boat, but with a transom. This is going to be a multi-part series here. The first part is today. We're going to go get the lumber from Home Depot. This is supposed to be everything that you can go to Home Depot and or Lowe's or any other place near you to get the supplies to build it, minus the rosin for the fiberglass that will be used later. But for the wood, tools, should be everything that you already have. It's going to be made out of regular wood and plywood. So if it floats at the end, we had a blast doing it. But so we're fixing to get in the truck. We're going to go get the wood. We're going to go through all the supplies. I'm going to show you how I made it. So where I got the design and the idea is from My Messy Garage. I think it's 8941 on YouTube. So off of his video, it's based off a Crowhunting sneak boat. Not really sure who that is or what kind of plans it is, but I'm going to take some of the ideas he had. I'm going to change it. His cockpit was 3 inches. Mine's going to be 10 inches. His transom was at an angle. I'm going to try to put mine more straight up to be easier to plywood and fiberglass later, and you'll see why. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit different, but it's based off of his build, and we're going to see. So let's go to Home Depot. Oh yeah, I'm going to be using my Meta smart glasses, so y'all get eye vision. Like, you see what I see. So let's go. All right, little man, you ready to go start this project?
Let's go.
Hang it left. All right, so we're gonna get this PL Max Premium. So I'm gonna get at least 2 of them. I do think that 3X would be pretty good too, but
get one just in case.
I'm going Max. All right, I'm gonna get 2 packs of screws, 1.25 inch and some 2-inch. I'm sure I'm gonna come back for some more. All right, that's what I went with. 3/4, 4x8. All right, so they took that sheet and cut it down for me. So that'd be for the transom. This is for the centerpieces here. So, need some more wood. All right, I'm using the 1x4x12, which are these for the gunnels. That'd be for the sides. So you got 2 sides, 1 for each side of the gunnel, and this is going to be a middle support. All right, so I'm going to get the 1x10x12. This is going to be for the cockpit. It's going to be 6-foot cockpit, so I can cut them in half to get the 2 sides, and I'll have some left over too. All right, I think that's everything. You ready? All right, let's go load it up. All right, so total that was $227. Now granted, I still need to buy 2 sheets of 1/4 inch plywood, but I also bought a tape measure that I really didn't need. It's always good to have one, and I walked around the store with it the whole time, so yeah, just a El Cheapo. All right, so let's go start putting it together.
Let's go.
Okay, just got home. We're gonna start unloading. I want to first say I'm not a boat builder. That's not what I do. Never done that before. This is my first wood boat project. There's tons of videos on how to make plywood boats, 1-sheet plywood boats. There's all kind of stuff. As long as you seal it all up, it's not supposed to rot. It's supposed to last a good many years if you keep it sealed up. So a kayak that I typically hunt out of is a Sand H10. I wanted something a little bit bigger, something a little bit more. I wanted kind of like a layout boat. So this is where I'm going. if I get 5-6 years out of this $200-300 boat, I still can buy 2 of them to 1 kayak. So I think I could get longer than that, especially since I would be storing it out of the weather when I'm not hunting and out of season. So we're gonna get started. All right, the first 2 pieces are 12 foot by 10 inches, which, you know, it says 10, but you're only getting 9 and a quarter. So this is going to be the top part of the layout. I would call it the cockpit. So I'm gonna unload them first. Not gonna be probably getting to them anytime today. So let me go ahead and move them. All right, next I got 3 of these. These are 12 foot. They are supposed to be 4 inches, but they only measure 3.5. This is what they call the gunnels. You would think gunnels hunting. I don't think that's really what that word's for. Again, I'm not a boat builder, but a gunnel is kind of like the sides and the top of what protects the boat of like getting in and out. Not really sure what the real name is, or I'm not sure why it's called that, but it's not for your guns for hunting. It's called a gunnel. So there's going to be 2 of them. So this is going to be the side of the boat. Down here is going to be the bottom, and then the top part. So there's 2 of them, and then 1 is going to go down the middle for support. All right, I got 2. So I got 2 2x4s. This is going to go in the front. This is what's going to knock the water, the waves and stuff down. It's probably only going to use probably about that much for the front. I'm going to use some more for some supports in the front section, and until I get the transom glued together and cut out, I'm going to use 1 2x4 at the back just to hold the boards from warping. So I got 2 2x4s. Okay, so here's the plywood that I got. So these are going to be the middle support pieces. I got more than I really need, but you can't never have too many. We're going to need at least 5. We got to have 4 to start with. Got to have 4. Then you got to have a front piece that you can't make yet, and then a transom. So there's going to be 6 support pieces for this 12-foot boat. So I'm going to have to take 1 piece and make me a template, because I want my curve to be the same on all 4 of them. We'll get to the other ones later. But we're going to start with 4 today. So I'm going to cut me a template and then duplicate it on the 4. So this piece I have left over out of that sheet, and I did get the sandable kind, so it's a whole lot smoother. It's a little bit better board. You probably could have done it just as easy with regular plywood. Regular plywood would have saved a lot of money. Would it made any difference in the long run? I don't know. But here is the 2 pieces for the transom. The transom is going to be 16 inches tall, and then I'm going to put these 2 together. I'm going to screw them together. I'm going to glue them, screw them together, get them good and tight, and then way later it'll have 2-part epoxy all over it and resin and fiberglass. But for the time being, we're not going to mess with the transom today. So I'm going to move these 3 pieces out of the way. All right, so the first time that I got them to cut it, I just wanted some other ones just cut up. So I needed 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4, technically this 5th one, are all the same measurements. So there's 5 here. I'm going to use 1 as a template. Hey, you making noise. I'm going to use 1 as a template, and 4 is going to be my support pieces. So these pieces here are going to be my support pieces. They're going to be different sizes. 2 of them is going to be the same size. One's going to be smaller, and then obviously a template. So I was wanting 6 inches, but the way it came off that table saw, it's actually 6 inches and 1/8. It's not going to be a problem, but let's get a template made first. These 2 are just spare pieces. All right, so I need 4 pieces. I need one that's 38 inches, 44, need 2 of them, and a 40. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark them. So 38 inches, a 40 inch, 44, a 44, and then my template. So the gunnels was 3.5 inches. So I'm gonna mark 3.5 right there. And then I'm gonna come in 8 inches. All right, so the gunnels are gonna go right here. This is gonna be the side of the boat. I came down 3.5 inches here, and then I came over 8 inches. So what I need to do is take this flexible ruler, and I'm going to have to hold it like this and draw a line. That way, when we go to lay the plywood down for the bottom of the boat, it's going to be like this. I need both sides to be the exact on all 4 of them. So let's get that traced out. If the little man will come over here and help me, I need you to draw. So I'm going to bend that on that line. Nope, on the outside.
Oh, outside.
Yep, right there. Draw it all up. Make it dark. Go back and forth. So I'm going to bend that on that line. Nope, on the outside.
Oh, outside.
Yep, right there. Draw it all out. Make it dark. Go back and forth. There you go. Keep doing it. Go back and forth. So this is where the plywood for the floor will come here and then across the bottom and go back up that way. So I'm going to create me a template. Alright, so it's not going to matter too much that there's a little bit of uneven, like a little bit of waving. That's just how a jigsaw is. I'm going to use this template on all 4 corners, but I'm also going to press them together, run them on the sander so they'll all be the same angle, same curve, same everything, and plus it'll be flat. So, all right, so I need 44, so I need to measure out 44. So 44. Now, what's really cool about this project is, all right, so that gives you 4 inches of a sheet of plywood left over. And you're gonna say, wonder why don't you go all the way out? Well, when you go to do the bottom, which would take a whole sheet of plywood, making it 4 inches less gives you enough when you use a sheet of 1/4 inch plywood for the bottom to wrap up and curl up. That curl up is going to eat some because now it's having to go like this. That 4 inches will save you some of that so it'll line up. So 44. Another 44. A 40. That's got a knot on that end. I'm going to use this side because you know you probably can't find any boards that don't have knots in them. And then 38. Alright, so we're going to get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that, and get rid of that. So let's cut them out. All right, so the 44s will go in the middle, and then the front is a 38, and then a 40, and then your transom. So the boards will be bowed out, but that's pretty much how they're gonna go. They're gonna go 2 foot on center on that 12-foot board. I'm gonna use this sander, get all 4 together, and make all 4 of these the same roundness. So the 244s, we need to take, well, all of them I took and draw the center on them. We'll need the center on all of them later for sure, but the 244s, you need to find the center, then come up 1.5 inches. We're going to cut with our saw over there that line out from here to here, because this section, all this will eventually come out. Not yet. We don't want to cut that out yet. This is where the cockpit is going to be. This is where I'm going to be sitting down in there, but we don't want to cut this out yet because we want the support. We're going to cut the line and then later come back and cut that out, but not yet. So I'm just going to cut it, and I'll cut the jigsaw to do the rest of all the way up to the line. So let's cut that out. All right, so we got them cut. Like I said, we'll come back later for them. All right, so I'm gonna mark every 2 feet. That's where the front one is gonna be one we're gonna have to make later, and then the 4 that we have, and then the transom. And they're gonna go on center, so every 2 foot is what I'm marking. I put the boards together so that I could just mark them at the same time. So every 2 foot. And they gave us a little over at the edge, so we got more than what we paid for. So I'm gonna put the triangle on them, draw them, and then I can unclamp them. I didn't do too tight of a clamp because I didn't want to, mess the wood up. But all we need is a mark across it. Now this wood is not the straightest. Good luck trying to find a straight tree because they don't grow them anymore. It's a little wavy, but we fixing to torque it anyway, so it ain't gonna make no difference. I'm gonna put top so that I know that these are already designated for the top. Also, when I put these boards down, like I said, these were the best ones that they had, and they ain't the best straight. They were already going like this at the end, so I'm going to need them to go like that anyway. So if they're naturally growing or bending that way, it's even better. But all right, so I'm going to pull them there, put the pieces in it. So I'm going to drill. I'm going to pre-drill everything. Even with these screws are not supposed to bust. But I'm pre-drilling the screws. I'm going to put 2 screws in each section. I'm not going to glue them yet. I want to get them all there just in case when I go to bend it in the front and the back, if it pops the board and they're glued, then I'd have to cut it and sand it. So I'm going to put them in, bend the front, bend the back, then come back and glue them. So All right, for the 38 piece here, I did cut this at a 15-degree angle to give that board some more room. Cut it on both sides. I used a ratchet strap with a safety rope to pull that together. But you can see it's starting to come together pretty good. I put 2 screws, 2 screws, 2 screws, 2 screws, and then single and single. I haven't done 2 yet on the first one. But the 2x4 will go up in the front. May need to come together just a little bit more, but it's getting there. All right, so here's the front. These are on 20 degrees. It's 3 2x4s. It's going to have a square front nose. You can see these 2 have screws going this way. This one does not go into that. I'm going to glue all these up all together. These are all screwed together, but I'm going to unscrew them, glue them, screw them back together, fill in all this with glue. But you can see right there how it's going to have a rise. All right, I'm going to cut out 1 inch like here, 1 inch thick, and that's going to go down like this. But I don't have enough time today to work on it, so I am going to temporarily screw this down so no boards gets out of whack. So I'm going to mark half of each and go from there. All right, so I just put this board on top. That's just temporarily because I'm pretty much done for the day. That will get cut in, but this will keep the boat straight, no warping, nothing like that. But I mean, pretty much a successful day. The back, I did just like the front. I cut it just a little bit right here at an angle. I did 15 degrees on the front and on the back. That helps the wood. The 2x4 on the back is temporarily because I don't have a transom made yet, but it's looking pretty daggone good. Remember, this section and that section gets cut out. Yeah, about ready to flip over. So the next thing I gotta do is I gotta take a planer to this edge, so when you put the plywood down, it just comes over. So got work to do. All right, so the cockpit is on, but it's too big because there's got to be wood on the sides and 3 feet's too wide. So I'm gonna have to shorten that up. But in theory, it is flipped over and it has a cockpit. I don't know why I made it 3 feet, but it needs to be the width of that. Why did I make it bigger? I don't know. Hey, you see the bottom of the boat right there? There's the bottom of the boat. That's how much of a rise it's going to have. All right, so that's all for this part 1 series. So there's going to be part 2. I already started on it. So check back, hit that subscribe button. I'll see y'all.